Moving to the election right now and the state of the race. Who is more accurate, Rodney? Is it election pollsters or the betting markets? As we've seen, polls have changed a little bit. The race appears to be tightening. Particularly, I just saw a poll out of Pennsylvania that shows it much closer than, say, was reported a couple of weeks ago. It appears that Biden is still leading somewhere nationally between, I don't know, 3 to 8 points, or maybe if the next Quinnipiac poll comes out showing him plus 30, I don't know. But besides that, but one thing we did see, Rodney, dramatic, I know you've had your eyes on this and you wrote on this, is the dramatic closing or the tightening of the betting odds. It's almost even money at this point as I'm looking at the Real Clear Politics average. It has Biden at about, I think, 50.3, Trump at 49.3. That's the current average on Real Clear Politics. So question, Rodney, who has a better sense of the state of the race?
Well, I think the polls have a pretty good sense of the state of the race. But remember, nationally, Trump doesn't have to get 50% to win because of the way the electoral votes are set up. And so even if Biden is ahead by 2 or 3 percentage points, he's still in a losing position. You have to poll down to the battleground states for it to really make a difference. And those are the ones that are closing where the polls, they give you a really good snapshot, but they don't tell you where we're headed right now. And so you see these riots in Wisconsin. Wisconsin's a battleground state. You see Minnesota, battleground state, some. And so there's a real question there as to what's going on in these states with riots and people's opinions of law and order and how that might change. And they do help Trump, there's no question. And so I think what all of them are showing right now is that Trump is doing better. And I have to believe that it's two things. It is the riots, and I think the RNC helped him. I mean, the DNC was rather spare. It was really kind of a quiet affair. It was a very solemn affair and really downbeat, and kind of that hard scrabble thing, whereas the Republican National Convention was a celebration of America. Yeah. And it had the normal tropes in it. If you don't vote for me, we're all going to zero and it's going to be horrible, blah, 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 blah. But it was still, pageantry and look at this and aren't we great? And people want to feel good. They just do.
Well, you mentioned that the Democratic National Convention didn't mention rioting in the streets at all. And then someone got the memo that, guys, this is a problem. And then this is what you've seen over the last couple of days, a very sharp turn in messaging. And to answer my own question, I think the betting odds have a better hand on their pulse of what's going on. Because if you look back just a couple of months to say, January, February, Trump was the favorite according to the betting markets. Things took a dramatic turn. Things crossed. Biden became favorite. At what time did this happen? Late May, Rodney. Late May, early June, when all this stuff, all the craziness erupted. And then I think people basically got tired of what's been going on, the ongoing protests, which have turned violent into riots. And one more factor, Rodney, which I think you may have seen this chart, the correlation between COVID cases and Biden's odds of winning were highly correlated over the last few months. And as cases have fallen, so too have Biden's chance of odds. What do you make of that? And if COVID continues to sort of fade away a little bit over the next month or two, will that have such a tight correlation going on to who can win this thing?
I think it makes a difference. It's not COVID cases, though. It's the things that come out of it. And so as the COVID cases fall, the economy opens more. And the economy is the thing that tends to drive presidential elections for incumbents, be it, good or bad. Mm-hmm. And so if the economy is opening back up and people are feeling better about it, people have money in their pockets. I know not everybody, right? We still have a big unemployment issue, but a lot of people have money in their pockets, and the stock market is shooting to the moon. And so Trump has something to hang his hat on there, even though we've gone through this terrible downturn. And so if the COVID cases remain trending, if the trend remains where it's trending lower, then I think that definitely does help them because people feel better about the economy.
Yeah, certainly.